Well, I thought we played well at times today. I thought we had a lot of young guys do a lot of good things. Most importantly, getting the experience, getting in games. I thought the game changed right when we went to our bench, which is what I've kind of been talking about. We have some depth this year. I thought that group that came off, I want to say it was Des Ridenauer, Eric James, and Damo when they first came in. I thought they gave us great energy. And that's the thing about our team this year. I think it's a team that is built more on depth than we are on individual players. I don't think we drop off as much when we go to our bench, and we have to use that to try to wear some teams down. But I thought for those who saw us play last week to seeing us now, this is the way we want to play. We want to play with an aggressive tempo, a defensive disposition. And I thought we did a decent job of it. I thought some of these young guys really stepped up and made some good plays. What was glaring to me is, the last game we played, LG Gill had a great night. Tonight he only had 5 points, but we were able to still play because we were able to go to our bench with Tyshawn Powell and Damo and not drop off as much as we did last year when we had to go to our bench. So obviously it was great to see Derek Coulter play so well. I think that combination of him and Micah in the backcourt and then coming off with some energy and athleticism off the bench has helped us.
When you have a high-tempo offensive style, there's almost a reflexive tendency to let up on defense. How important is it that this team upgrades its defense this year?
Very important. I mean, it's just you don't win unless you play defense. I mean, what people don't realize is, my teams at LIU, we were number 2 in the country in scoring, number 4 in the country in scoring. But we held teams to like 29, 30% from the three-point line. We out-rebounded our opponents. We crushed our opponents on the glass. We won for that reason as much as we won because we were playing high tempo. Defensive end for us last year and this year, it's been youth. We have such youth when you're trying to rebuild a program and you have these young recruiting classes. We're not stockpiling our team with JUCO players of experience. We're stockpiling with high school kids. And what's the thing that high school players are the furthest thing behind on is defense. So it takes a while to establish it. And I think us playing as a team with a little bit more depth will allow us to be a little bit more fresh throughout the game. Last year our forwards were completely fatigued because we only had 2.5, where now we have more forwards so we can play defensively at a higher tempo and a faster rate and keep it as tight. That's the main focus. That's all we've been working on. We know we have to improve to compete in the Atlantic 10 defensively and rebounding.
And that's what you saw early on, or rather didn't see early on, and then made the switch, and your next wave came in and got the tempo at both ends the way you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where we dipped off last year. When we had to go to our bench, I felt we dipped. We're not going to take as big a drop. Sometimes you're better at certain positions. It all depends. And I think that's the thing we're trying to find out with this team or figure out with this team is what pieces fit together. So what combinations, our plus-minus charts that we have up in the office every day, who fits well together, meaning do we have enough shooting on the floor, enough defense on the floor, enough driving and enough low-post scoring on the floor, and which pieces, which guys fit better together. And that's going to be a process, and it takes a while. It's going to take about a good 7 or 8 games to really figure out that niche of what pieces really fit together well. But we do anticipate in playing, 9, 10 guys.
Was Coulter's game tonight part in effect of the move to have Mason with the ball more? It seemed like he was open for some of those shots.
Well, I've been saying this all along, for the people that are questioning, how do you play Micah at the point when he's a great three-point shooter? The kid's a great basketball player. He's a point guard by nature. Someone's taught this kid to play the right way. I'd love to take credit for it, but I'm not gonna. Someone's taught this kid to play the right way. So everybody's concerned is Micah, Micah still shot 60% from the floor, 50% from 3, and had 9 assists. And it allows DC to be DC. When we get to Atlantic 10 play, Derek Coulter has been small at the point, and it's affected what he's seen on the floor. He didn't turn the ball over a lot last year, but he missed things that we saw as a team that needed to happen. Our offense just functions better when Micah's on the ball. He still gets his points. He still shoots at a high rate. We chart statistics every single day. Micah Mason is still shooting 50% from 3 since we've started all the preseason workouts as being the point guard. So it's a pretty good combination, but let's not kid ourselves. It's also the ability to come off the bench with other guards that can play and get tempo and give him rest, or At that time when they were dogging Mike a little bit, we just took him off the ball, let somebody else dribble it up, and then we can still play that way. So I think it's an advantage. It was just great to see DC play as well as he has. He has been playing well.
Personally, with what he's been through all summer, is it personally satisfying to see him come out?
Ah, come on, man. It's unbelievable. You know, we talked about it yesterday. You know, we talked about, all right, the season's finally here. You know, we get to play a game, and yet we've already had, you know, the biggest victory of all. The kids coming out on the court, cancer-free, to play in that game. And, you know, all the guys jumped on him and hugged him and the whole deal. So, DC's a great kid, man. I think we all learned and grew from him and his experience. So for him to go through this, I mean, I'd love it to be every single night. It'd be great if it could be every night for him. But I think it was great for him to get back on the court in a real game situation and play as well as he did.
Will we see him, do you think, as an improved three-point shooter this year?
Yeah.
With being away from the ball?
Yeah, I think he doesn't have to make as many decisions. I think you'll see his shooting percentages go up because a lot last year, or in his first 2 years, the ball was in his hands and he had to create shots. Being 5'9" will be nice. And it's difficult, especially in the Atlantic 10. So I think taking some of that pressure off him allows him to be truly what he is. Now, you remember, he was the point guard here because when I got here, there was nobody here that could dribble the ball. Okay, the point guards had both transferred. I was the best ball handler on the team, and I'm a shooter. So DC played every single minute of the game at the point, but he wasn't a natural point guard. And still, he led us in scoring and assists as a freshman, and you know, because he's a tough-minded kid. But I think this is more his natural position.
How much does it depend on other players to understand that they need to kick the ball out to Micah? Because if he's the guy that's doing most of the distributing, he's also got to get it back.
Yeah, and then we work on that all the time, and it's also Micah. You know, I yanked Micah today because he didn't shoot.
That, yeah.
He didn't shoot, and I told him, you don't shoot, I'm taking you out of the game. Like, he's open. He's a great shooter. Like, he's just got to understand he's got to be more aggressive shooting the basketball.
When he has a look.
When he has a look. When he has half a look.
Okay.
You know, for other guys, you got to be wide open. Micah don't have to be wide open. Like, shoot the ball. And that's what I told him. I said, if you do it again, I'm going to take you out again. You know, and he's so unselfish, and he really, like I said, he plays the right way. His shot was not open for other people, the one I yanked him on, but it was open for him, and he needs to shoot that. And that's going to be a fine line that he has to, because again, he plays the right way. He's always looking to get other people involved, and he sees, very rarely does he not see the right decision. And so he was looking for the great shot, but what I understand to him is sometimes a half-open shot for him is a great shot for us, and that's something he's got to learn. Anything else?
Ready for Jim?
All right. Thanks, guys.
Next game, next Saturday at Abilene.